We have some breaking news out of the NFL where the Patriots are hiring Josh McDaniels as their next offensive coordinator. That has been confirmed by our own Jonathan Jones. McDaniels will reunite with Mike Vrabel, who he has plenty of experience working with in New England. McDaniels has had 2 prior stints as the Pats OC, helping the team win 6 Super Bowl titles under head coach Bill Belichick. He'll now take over an offense led by second-year quarterback Drake May. For more on McDaniels, we now welcome to our show our own Jonathan Jones, who did confirm this report for us. Jonathan, let's just start with your initial thoughts on this hire.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. We've been reporting since even before Mike Vrabel got the job in New England that when he did get the job, Josh McDaniels would be his offensive coordinator. And so that has now become official. He interviewed in person today in Foxborough on Tuesday. And so obviously that went well. Everyone heard what they expected to hear, needed to hear about Josh McDaniels. Obviously a very familiar face there, as you note, having 2 previous stints as the offensive coordinator in New England. Many thought would eventually become the successor to Bill Belichick, but after a failed stint with the Denver Broncos, leaving the Indianapolis Colts at the altar, another failed stint as the Las Vegas Raiders head coach, this is the future for Josh McDaniels, returning back to New England where he and his family already were. He's still getting paid by the Raiders as a head coach, so that certainly helps out Robert Kraft in his pockets as he helps Mike Vrabel assemble a staff with the Patriots to usher in this new era. And so now they know who will be in the ear of Drake May in year 2 and beyond, and that, of course, will be Josh McDaniels.
How important is it to know now with this hire that he is not anymore a head coaching candidate, and how important is that really when it comes to keeping continuity with Drake May?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. You know, anytime that you have a CEO-type head coach, a head coach who comes from, let's say, the defensive side of the football, one of the biggest questions is who's going to be your offensive coordinator, and then what's your succession plan when you inevitably have success, as you certainly hope to, and teams will want to pluck your offensive coordinator to be their head coach. That is the world we live in today's NFL. Well, no one's going to be taking Josh McDaniels. I mean, you know, he's had the 2 tries at head coach, 3 if you want to count Indy. That's it. Josh knows that. The NFL knows that. Mike Vrabel knows that. And so because of that, you do get that continuity. You don't have to worry about someone coming in and scooping up your offensive coordinator and you having to start all over or have that succession plan. Now, I will say that, of course, Vrabel's still going to fill out this offensive coaching staff, folks who are either familiar with Vrabel himself or Josh McDaniels, or folks that maybe both of these coaches have had an eye on around the NFL, and especially in their year off from the league. And so I would look closely perhaps at some guys who also interviewed for this position. The first name that springs to mind is Thomas Brown. He served as the interim head coach of the Chicago Bears, and he is someone who interviewed for this offensive coordinator position. I would not at all be surprised if he winds up, if he does not get an OC job somewhere in the NFL, if he winds up coming to New England and being with Drake May and with Josh McDaniels as they turn the page into this new chapter of New England football.
Just last one for you here, JJ, as we now look ahead, what do you actually expect McDaniels this time around to bring to this team, especially when we look come draft time? What influence do you think he will have when it comes to building around Drake May? Because we know that's going to be a top priority.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt it's going to be a top priority. I mean, this was a bottom 3, bottom 5 roster when it comes to talent in the NFL, and so he certainly is going to have input with Mike Vrabel, who we know is sort of running the show here with the Patriots. Elliott Wolf has been the de facto general manager. Mike Vrabel hired Ryan Cowden to join him in personnel in a senior role. Cowden had been with Vrabel in Tennessee for some time, and so there's going to be alignment there when it comes to the players that this team is going to be choosing. There's not going to be a hodgepodge, a mismatch sort of idea or mix of ideas, if you will. And so McDaniels, I'm sure, will have a voice. Hey, this player works better in this system. Mike Vrabel's going to understand that as a guy who certainly knows ball. But this is also a Patriots team that's going to need a lot of work. Yes, they have money to spend in free agency. They're going to need to acquire some more draft picks. They're going to need to get some young, cheap labor out there, cost-controlled players, and that's how you get that through the draft. So plenty of work to be done, but at least the Patriots now know who's going to be doing that work for them, as certainly an offensive coordinator with McDaniels.
Most definitely. We'll see what they're able to do this offseason and come draft night, as they currently hold the 4th pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Jonathan Jones joining us for the breaking news here, as the Patriots have hired Josh McDaniels as their next offensive coordinator. He joins Mike Vrabel's staff, hoping to continue to grow and improve this offense around quarterback Drake Mays. You take a look at what they have or haven't been able to do the past 2 seasons. We'll see what Josh McDaniels will be able to bring to this struggling offense in the years to come.